I'm talking relationships, worth more than money. No time for the fake or the phony. Tweezy jump the gym, it's so evident. Link up with the gang. I'm talking relationships.
All right. Ooh. Hey, we back. Season 2, episode 2. I go by the name of Tweezy. Y'all know who I am. But to the left of me, who I got?
Got Brien
Brien who?
Johnson.
Brien Johnson. Brien Johnson, bro. What's good, man? We was just chatting, talking it up, man. How we like been knowing each other for like over 5+ years. And you got something new out.
Yeah. I got a lot of things new. I got new music out.
Yeah.
Then, man, we're coming up on a book, man. My first book coming out called The Waiting Room.
The Waiting Room, and we're gonna get on that. But you got something called Life After 16?
Life Before 16.
Life Before 16.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, man.
Let's do it, man.
Life Before 16, man. What inspired you to create this EP?
Man, so with Life Before 16, man, it had been 4 years since I dropped the project, and was just at a place where, so much had happened, man. I got married, I had a kid, and at the end of the day, man, I still got a story to tell, and I was like, man, I need to just keep working on my craft and keep working. So I was at a place where I got my studio set up in my own spot. I was like, and I had started producing myself and all that. I was like, let me start making music again. And it just kind of took off from there, man.
Yeah.
Took me a couple of months to knock it out, man. But Life Before 16 is just like what the kind of kid that I was, the kind of person that I was before I was 16, man. I was a wild kid, man. My story's wild, man. Was banging all that stuff, got locked up before 16, and before I gave my life over to God, man. I just wanted to put that project out, man, and continue to tell that story.
So when you say you was banging and all of that, like what was a normal day like back before 16?
Shoot, so normal day for me, man, was an easy wake and bake. Easy wake and bake. Go to school, go through the front doors, out the back doors. And I failed my entire 9th grade year. That's because I skipped school every single day, man.
Yeah.
Met up with the homies, you know what I'm saying, and just did whatever came up to it, came on our minds to do, man.
Right. You was Crip, Blood?
I was Crippin'.
Yes, it was Crips out here?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It's traveling, man.
Right.
That's what I understand, like the I guess you could say the teeter-totter or the transition. What is something you feel like you needed to change from, going from banging and skipping school and normal wake and bake? Like what hit you and said, hey, let's switch this.
Let's switch it up. 15 years old, and your mother comes and visits you. You're in a orange suit, and you look at her, looking at all the stress that you're putting her through. Her hair thinning. You giving your own mother her first gray hairs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that for me was kind of my turning point. I'm like, yo, you really tripping, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before then, I couldn't take any accountability for what I was doing. It was everybody else's fault around me.
Right.
And just got to that place, man, where my mom was visiting me in jail. I was like, yo, this gotta stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it was for me, man. Gratefully, man, I say this all the time, jail, me going to a juvenile detention center at 15, best thing that could have happened.
Why you say that?
Oh, I would have ended up in jail or dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, legit was I mean, you name it, I was doing it, bro. From robbing, stealing, fighting. I had 3 felonies and 3 misdemeanors by the time I was 15 years old.
Gee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so there really wasn't too many other options of where I would have ended up at if I would have kept going in that route.
Yeah. So did you have any like I know, but like you got siblings, right?
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
And you the youngest.
Yeah.
Where were your older siblings there with brother and
I got one older brother that's in Georgia,
Mhm.
and I have another brother that's in Texas. And by that time I was doing that stuff, they really wasn't around like that. You know what I'm saying? They out of the house at that point. So at that point it's me, mom, and I got an older sister who's, closer to age to me, but I ain't really have no male role models there to yoke me up and be like, yo, you
Yeah.
tripping. So, you know what I'm saying? I was
and
kind of left to my own devices.
where was dad at?
Pops really was never in the picture, man.
Yeah.
He also lived in Georgia. Um, he didn't really become like verbally there even like
Mhm.
until after I got out, where we kind of rekindled a relationship at that point. But before then, he kind of ducked off.
Yeah. So like, do you feel like your brother's not being there and your father not being there could be like a result of like how you were acting?
All right, I'm so in hindsight, it definitely wasn't from my brothers, man. My brothers, at the end of the day, I can't put that on them. They're not,
Yeah.
they're not my parent, but definitely pops not being there for sure, man. You, my mom used to always be like, Brian, why do you think you're like? Because I was getting kicked out of school. I got kicked out of every school I was in, whole
Mhm.
9 yards, man. And she would be like, is it because your pops isn't there? And I would have this very um like nonchalant, like, man, I can't miss what I don't never had type of vibe to it. But the
Yeah.
whole time I was, bro, I was feeling the absence of that structure not being there, that correction not being there, that discipline not being there.
Mhm.
So I didn't know it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I couldn't put my finger on it as a teenager, but yeah, for sure, man. That definitely had an effect.
Okay. Now looking back at it, I know you said you don't think your brothers had it wasn't their fault. Weren't really getting at it like that, but it's
Yeah.
more like like when you got a big brother, they normally the ones that's like looking after you,
Yeah.
taking you know what I mean,
Yeah.
taking you under the wing,
Yeah.
and trying to like show you the rope.
Yeah.
But not having them there, and then your dad and you seeing your mom, you putting your mom through all that stress.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit 15 in that orange jumpsuit, that was the switch.
That
So
was a
when you
switch.
got out,
Yeah.
what did you do? Like when you got out
Bro,
of
by the
juvenile?
time I got out, man, it had been 13 months.
Mhm.
So I did 13 months in the public, and then I went down state to Richmond and did 9 months down there. But by the time I got out, bro, I was locked in.
Mhm.
I was 16 by the time I got out. I did my crime at 14, got locked at 15, got out at 16. So this is all kind of 2.5, 3 year span. I locked in, bro, to like by that time I was praying. So I'm like, oh God, whatever you want me to do, whatever you have for me, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going back to the streets, none of that. So all the people that I was connected with, I dropped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? First day I got out, one of the big homies hit me up, like, yo, you still down? Are you still banging? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, had to straight up tell him no, you know what I'm saying? And the conversation went like this, like, where were you at the last 13 months of my life? I ain't getting no letters from you. I ain't getting no, you know what I'm saying?
And I was about to ask that too.
Yeah.
Like, did any of them
Yeah,
hit you
nope.
up?
Nope. And,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying? When you growing up, you hear that, man. You hear folk talk about like, your friends ain't really your friends, you know what I'm saying? Because the
Yeah.
first time you get hemmed up, where they at? You know what I'm saying? It was like that. Like,
Right.
like the only people that was really writing me was my mama and some shorties.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but beyond that, man, like them people, them folks that I was running around with doing all that stuff, man, they was nowhere to be found. So when I got out, they wanna, yo, you still down? You still banging? Let's go do no.
Yeah.
It's a no from me. You know what I'm saying? So, drop that, and then just I got connected to the church, man, which was the best thing that I think could have happened, because it gave me a reason to get up. It gave me a reason to stay off the streets. It gave me a
Yeah.
reason to not fall back into that same cycle that I had been in prior to getting locked up.
Right. What church to me, man, I feel like a lot of your answers get solved when you go to church.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think us, as Black people, we kind of try to steer away from it and try to figure out our own way.
Yeah.
But we can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it without the man upstairs.
I was grateful enough, man, to where. So my mom took me to church growing up, but I was checked out by the time I was 8, 9 years old. And hear this, you gotta have a real relationship with God. Like it can't be church. It can't just be you going to church and listen to the pastor, because if you ain't got your own relationship with him, what he's saying sounds like a lottery ticket. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like rambling, a bunch of it just don't make sense.
Right.
So I was grateful enough to where I had my own relationship with God, to where I was like, me going to church was a byproduct. You know what I'm saying, of my relationship with him. But you're right though, man. I mean, that community, that faith, that what you need is found, right there in that church.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, for me, man, like I just got baptized.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? 2 months ago, Kadeem?
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
That's what's up,
you know what I mean? Because it was like, for me, it was like, bro, I was lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I did the Marine Corps thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did the Marines. Me and Kadeem in the thick of combat.
Yeah.
Left and right every day we in combat. And, I made it back twice.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And my cousin Ro told me, he like, cuz, God always been with you. I'm like, yeah, he been with me, but I ain't got no relationship with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like, I needed to get that relationship because I was spiraling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was spiraling and instead of me crashing out and doing crazy stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I need to get my answers answered and solved.
Yeah.
I need to go talk to him.
Yeah.
So my best friend Quee, she introduced me, you know what I mean, to her church. Shout out to First Baptist of
Let's
Glen
go. First Baptist, shout out.
And from there, man, like, I was going to church and listening, and everything that Pastor Jenkins was saying, it was hitting home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I looked, and I'm like, man, yep, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time. And then her mom, like, didn't know me from a can of paint.
Yeah.
Prayed for me. Like, she like, I just want to pray for you. I feel something from you. I just want to pray for you.
Come on.
And I was just like, it's time.
Yeah.
Time for me to go holler at big God.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, man. And I had my kids there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, I wanted my kids to see that, hey, you know what I mean, you got to build a relationship. It's on you, you know what I'm saying, to build that relationship. But I'm bringing you with me so you can see it. Like, I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's been times where I was just like, man, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? So it's good, man. You getting out of detention and jail or whatever, and switching your life around. And I always tell kids, man, you never know. Like, they might be going through something right now.
Yeah.
And when they see this, when it drop, it might hit them. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong with having a relationship with God.
Nah, bro.
I think that's the dopest thing to have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you can still be you, but just don't be doing no negative, crazy things. You know what I'm saying? That's going to defeat the purpose of having that relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's I commend you on that, for one. And
same to you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it. And
Yes,
two,
sir.
like, man, you always been a great, like, friend, or you always been a connector. You and Frank.
Yeah.
Man, Frank, matter of fact, connected us.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, Tweez, holla at Brien, man. He's dope. Da.
Yeah.
But you and Frank, man, y'all always had that connection to where it was always positive.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we missing sometimes in our neighborhoods. Like, it's positive. Everybody don't have to be sliding and doing all of this negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? You still can do great things and still be dope out here.
You can
in the
be
streets.
man. You can be yourself, man.
Yeah, be yourself.
And still, like you just said, be positive.
Be positive. Just be positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of ways to go negative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's definitely you can go negative easy. And I always tell my kids, it's easy to get in trouble. It's hard being good.
Yeah.
Which one you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'd rather you do the good way.
Yeah.
Good route.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Because the hard way ain't gonna get you nowhere. It's gonna, and when it hit, it ain't gonna be nice. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So yeah, Life Before 16.
Yes, sir.
You said you started back producing because I was gonna ask you who produced it because I listened to it.
Okay.
I listened to it plenty of times, a couple times on the way here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who did this production? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
so you jump back into
yeah,
that's
me,
the
man.
whole joint.
The entire top to bottom.
How was it, man? Like, how was it getting back into that realm of creating?
Man, oh my gosh. So I'll tell you the truth, man. And I hit on it a little bit in my book, but me and my lady actually, me and my wife actually separated.
Yeah.
We had separated for a couple of months, man. And a lot of people don't notice, but I actually had moved. I had moved out of the state, moved to North Carolina.
Real?
Yeah. I was doing the whole co-parent thing for a while, man. And during that time, man, I didn't touch music. I didn't touch music. I was just down there grinding, man, making back to the kid, whole 9 yards. And then probably in May, we ended up reconciling and coming back. I ended up coming back home.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the first thing that I did was jump back into the music, to the craft, and just got back into it. And I thought, I was like, man, I felt like I had lost it. I was like, man, I don't even know if I can do this, blah, blah, blah. Man, I just kind of picked it back up where I left it at, man. But yeah, man, I produced the whole thing, man, recorded it. But it was great, man. I had a vision kind of for how I wanted the first track to go, the way that I created it. The first track is Us. And I knew I wanted a synth to introduce the project. I don't know why, but I came across the synth and I was like, okay, that's it. And it just kind of built from there, man. And the rest of the tracks, man, just me kind of exploring and coming across what felt good to me and just kind of creating from there.
So track 2,
Yes,
Been
sir.
Waiting For.
Yes, sir.
What were you coming from? What space you was coming from when you created that?
So what Been Waiting For, man, that is like, man, like this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting to make music like this. Like all of my other music before, and there's nothing wrong with it, was produced by other people. You know what I'm saying? I got an amazing track with you that was produced by you. I got another project, but to really like get to where I'm producing my own stuff, writing my own stuff, it just felt like me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, this is what I've been waiting for, to put out music like this. So that's kind of what Been Waiting For is, man. It's just like I've been waiting to make music like this since I was a kid. Like, and I've been dreaming of putting out music and doing it in this way, man, for a while. Because I was always on a fence about before I did this project. My last thing was Time of My Life. I think I had California up there. Like I said, it was produced by other people. But my journey of just like, man, putting out music that I know felt authentic to me.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I had done that yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Been Waiting For is that, like, man, I've just been waiting to put out music like this. Yeah.
Track 3, Misguided.
All right, cool. So look, we got another brand, Okazi. Okazi. It's a fashion retailer that specializes in delivering high quality gym apparel. Not only do they strive to bring the best possible gear for the gym, they let you express your own unique individuality. And with that, they partner with me. And if you use the code RWMTM, you will get 15% off the whole website. So make sure y'all tune in, put in that link, put the link below, and let's get some workout gear.
All right, so track 3, bro, Misguided. Where you was coming from on that track?
Yeah, so with Misguided, man, it was everything that I was telling you about, man. Just kind of how I grew up, misguided, no role models. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to model after, man. So Misguided is that, man. The chorus talks about I was a little misguided and a lot more missed it, man. Like I was out there out on a mission. So that's really what Misguided is about. Talking about, man. I was a misguided kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just trying to figure it out. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Change, track 4.
Change is, like I said, so everything I kind of told you from my little story that we just talked about, I put all in there, man, about the life before 16. Change is that 15-year-old kid. I talked about, I said 16-year-old got them things on me, 16-year-old got them chains on me. Growing up, you going like I was 16-year-old in chains, you know what I'm saying? And I just talked about my whole entire experience being locked up, you know what I'm saying? Chains.
All right. Home Now.
So after you get out of jail, you home now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that whole vibe, man, is like cookout vibe. Like, you know what I'm saying? You go, after you leave, come home from deployment, man, you want to see your people, you know what I'm saying? You want to connect, boom, boom, boom. So that's really what home now is, man. It's just like kiss the mama, kiss my baby, kiss my lady, you know what I'm saying? I've been gone for a minute now, but I'm home now. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Track 6, Mrs. White.
Miss White, bro.
Yeah.
Miss White, man.
Miss White.
Man. Anybody has a praying grandma, you'll really vibe with Miss White, man. So Miss White was my babysitter. She was my first babysitter I ever had. She took me in probably like 9 months. But what was beautiful about that is she was a prayer warrior. So I think Miss White saw something about my life before I did. Miss White would literally get the oil and put it on my head and pray for me and all that stuff, man.
Yeah,
And I would run. She when I start acting up, she like she called me Bud. She'd be like, Bud, you want me to go get the oil? I'd be like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew you get the oil, you getting God involved. I ain't want no parts of it. But yeah, Miss White, she passed away, some years ago, man. So she was never able to see me, come into the things I'm doing now.
Right.
But yeah, man, I wanted to make a song that paid homage to White. So
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. The last track, right?
Yes, sir.
Finish Line.
Finish Line, man. Finish Line is actually a track that I had dropped a year ago. But I knew that this was all kind of in the works. But Finish Line is that, man. Is we're all on our own race. We're all on our own journey, and we got to hit that finish line. We got to follow through. We got to make it to the finish line. So that's what Finish Line is about, man. I kind of go into, just kind of what my last year has looked like, man. Like I said, me and my lady have separated, man. I was freaking staying in hotels, and you know what I'm saying, just trying to get through the trenches, man. But ultimately, man, I gotta make it to my finish line. I got my own race that I gotta run. So
right.
Yeah.
What do you feel? What do you feel about the marriage? Well, how do you feel about marriage? Congrats on being married,
thanks,
too.
bro.
Because I remember you came to me and was like, bro.
Yeah. What'd you tell me?
He was like, bro, I'm about to get married. I said,
he said, don't do it.
Don't do it. You sure?
Yeah.
I said, are you sure?
Right.
Don't do it unless you know for sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Unless you sure. And you was like, yeah, I'm sure. I said, all right. I said, just know, it's gonna be bumpy.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And sure enough, you came to me at one of JoJo like events she had, and he was like, bro, you was right.
It's real.
And I was like, I told you.
Yep.
I was like, I told you,
marriage,
but
yeah.
I'm glad to see y'all working it out.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean, because I don't wish, divorce on anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's great to have a partner, man. I talk about it so much. But I'm divorced. So it's like I try to get y'all the game on what not to do.
Facts.
And how you can fix it. And you know what I mean? Try to like be more proactive than reactive.
Yeah.
But how does it feel to be married? And I not only went through, a little turmoil, but you back at it.
Man, it feels great, man. I think marriage is about commitment. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I didn't see what commitment was. Especially when you ain't got a father, that you don't see commitment being shown in life. So when you get married and you can't leave, that's it. You're gonna learn commitment. So marriage has been probably the greatest teaching tool, man, for me, man. Me and my lady we're just different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She's a pastor's kid from Canada. I'm a southern boy with split parents, man, and it's easy that those two things clash, man. Right. But we're learning how to work together, man. How to keep God in the center of our marriage, and how to keep moving, man. I got a son who needs me. I got a wife who needs me, and I got 2 daughters who needs me. So Yeah, man.
Yeah. How does it feel to be a dad now,
Oh,
man?
man. Let me sit up when I say this. It's the best thing ever, man.
Yeah,
And
man.
if I would have known, I would have been on my Nick Cannon a long time ago. Nah, man. It's the best thing ever, man. Like having my son, man, he teaches me so much. He teaches me so much, man. He teaches me a lot. We keep talking about God, but to me, he teaches me a lot about that relationship with God and son. Like, I know I can't do nothing to make God not love me.
Mm.
I see that when I see my son.
Right.
The boy just pooped on the floor last week.
Yeah.
I still love him. The boy just put his leg in the toilet yesterday.
Yeah.
I still love him. You know what I'm saying? The boy, I was trying to, I'm holding his hand to take him across the street. You know what I'm saying? And he want to pull away and literally say, "Dad, let me go." You know what I'm saying? But he don't know I'm keeping him safe.
Right.
That's what God does. That's that loving relationship with God, man. So my son taught me everything, man. I say he's the biggest blessing.
And the best thing that ever happened to me, my
Facts.
2 kids, man,
Facts.
my girls, like it calmed me down a lot.
Yeah.
And it had me like look back at when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And was like, damn.
Yeah.
I was like this.
Yeah.
Or dang.
Yeah.
Was I this expressive?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then you start looking back and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know what I mean? And I was telling like on the last episode, go ahead, express yourself.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
You know, it's girls. Like you got a son, so you know what I mean? He's going to get to that point where he wants to express yourself.
Yeah.
Let me understand your world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's different, man.
Yeah.
Things are way different.
Yeah.
Things are more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like, you look at them Christmas lists and you're like,
right.
Huh?
Gratefully, he's one right now.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful.
So you good.
I'm good right now.
You good. You got about 5-6 more years.
Yeah.
And they're going to be asking for some outrageous stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my kids, man, like, it's like, yo, whatever I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to grind forward.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm going to just make sure that we're good.
Yeah.
Like, everything's good.
Yeah.
And understanding them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids will definitely change you.
Absolutely.
The best way.
Yes.
The best way. So it's no negative annotation towards that. Because, I mean, my kids, man, bring the best out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like you seeing it on a day-to-day basis, like how fast they grow.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because you're gonna blink your eye. I'm gonna give you another one.
Yeah.
You're gonna blink your eye and you're gonna be like, how's he 10? You know what I mean? It happens so fast, bro.
Yeah, man.
Cause look, his son 10.
Yeah.
Tootie about to be 10. I'm like,
yeah.
How?
Yeah.
My oldest about to be 13. I'm like, I remember racing down 95 from Jersey, come make sure I was at the birth. You know what I'm saying? For my oldest.
And it felt like yesterday.
And it felt like yesterday. I remember flying from Cali to get back to DC, and you know what I mean, to see my youngest born. And it feels like yesterday.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's great though, because it's like when you actually chill with them, hang with them, and watch TV with them. Now they got opinions now.
Yeah.
That's where it's like, dang.
Yeah.
Like they really like having conversations.
Yeah.
And MJ, he gonna be talking like real sentences probably when he like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You gonna be looking at him like, what?
Yeah.
What made you like? How you think like that, bro?
Man, this boy, he's already on that vibe, man. He already he say whatever he want to say. He'll tell you when he want to eat. He'll tell you when he want to go to sleep. I mean, I credit Miss Rachel. I don't know if y'all know who Miss Rachel is.
Miss Rachel, the truth.
Yeah,
Miss Rachel is the truth.
Yeah, I owe her some child support. She'll be watching my kid for me.
Yeah, Miss Rachel is amazing.
Yeah,
she's dope. But watch, he's telling you what he want to eat now.
Mm-hmm.
Watch when he start talking about he gonna have a conversation with you in like 3 years old, and you're gonna be like, oh, he that's his brain. That's him.
Yeah,
you're gonna be like, what?
Yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Fatherhood has been the best, man. I love it.
It is.
I love it.
What's next for you, bro?
Whew. What's next, man?
You got a book coming out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what's the name of that book?
The Waiting Room.
The Waiting Room. Talk to me about it.
Man, so The Waiting Room, man, I had somebody years ago ask me, was I ever going to write a book? And I said, no, I'm not writing a book. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you the truth, man. And I'll tell you how it came about. But the last thing that was even on my mind was writing a book. But yeah, I'm going to tell you, so how that came about is I was literally sleeping.
Mhm.
I was in a dream. And inside of my dream, I was inside of a waiting room. And the cover that's of the book is actually what my dream was.
Right.
So I'm in the dream, and I hear God say, write a book. And I was like, no, like, first of all, I ain't got enough life experience to write a book.
Yeah.
I ain't made it yet. Like I don't know, like I gave God all of these excuses to why I couldn't do what he was telling me to do inside of the dream. And what I heard back said now.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
Say no more. Say no more. I ain't got
Say
nothing.
less.
I ain't got nothing else.
got to.
So I woke up from that dream, and sometimes, man, sometimes when I dream, if I don't remember it, then to me it doesn't make sense. But I was driving later on that day, and it popped back in my mind, and I'm like, okay, let me take that serious. And that's really where it came from. Inside of my dream, like I said, I was inside of this waiting room, and on the walls in the dream, I saw the waiting room on the wall. So I'm like, okay, that's what it is. So I tried to make the cover as best depicting that dream as I possibly could. But basically, what the waiting room is about, man, is when God gives you a promise. When God tells you, like, hey, something's gonna happen in your life, like this is gonna happen. From the time he gives you that to the time he delivers on that promise, you're in the waiting room. You're in the waiting. And a lot of us, that's where I feel like a lot of us are at. We're in a waiting season to what we feel like God is going to bring us into, or what God is saying to us. We can look at, like, in the Bible, look at Noah. God told him to build this ark. It took 60, 70 years for that flood to come. From the first time he gave Noah that, hey, build this ark, a flood's coming, to when that flood actually came.
Right.
You think about that in between time, what did Noah go through? He probably went through doubt. Like, did God really tell me he was going through this? He brought his whole entire family on this thing. He done got all these animals up here. It's the 30 years later, and there still ain't no flood.
Right.
40 years later, there still ain't no flood. But God was preparing. God was preparing Noah. God was preparing whatever for that time. So that's really what the waiting room is about, man. Is just like, what do you do in your time of waiting, when you're waiting on God to deliver on,
Nice.
on something he told you.
Nice. Are you gonna do an audiobook for it too?
So I think it is. I think it does. It comes out on a Kindle, and it comes out on Amazon. I want to say that there will be an audiobook for it too.
I mean, if you haven't recorded it, then maybe
you
just have to,
Okay.
But you can just record it, record the readings of it, and
I
then
might need to get on that.
Because that's what I'm big on audiobooks. Because I'm always in the whip, I'm always in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm always doing something.
Yeah.
So I think the best way for me to, like, hear a book, I'd rather hear it and visualize it,
right,
than read it and visualize it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think with audiobooks, because I can hear where you're coming from.
Yeah.
That person, whatever author,
Okay,
is giving me the description of it. Or, like, for instance, Charlemagne, his last book, what was it? Get Honest or Die Lying.
Wow.
Yeah. That book. So, like, I can hear it in his voice on what he was going through, what he was doing, therapy. You know
That's
what I mean?
dope.
All of these things, and being truthful and honest about his life.
Yeah.
And I think that was the dopest part of it, because I can visualize it. I can see exactly where he was at these points and times in these chapters of his life.
That's dope.
And I think if you do the same thing, that's going to skyrocket you too.
Yeah.
Because what I noticed with doing music, man, it's not just music.
Right.
You have to give a person a vision.
Yeah.
Of, it's not only the listening part, the visual.
Yeah.
It's the imagination. It's the creativity.
Yeah.
And I think when you step outside of the music and do a book, that helps, like, you're building your portfolio of you.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people with me, they was like, yo, Tweez ain't doing music no more. He's doing podcasts. Say, I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
Never going to stop music.
Yeah.
But podcasting, to me, it helps me, therapeutic to me.
Yeah.
But sometimes I have thoughts and I want to get them out.
Exactly.
So then when I share them with you and you share me your thoughts, now we have a conversation, and now it's more of like, okay, I'm diving into your world, you diving into mine. So I can voice my concern or opinion or what I like and think just different things. And I think if you just do that for your book, the waiting room, which is dope to me because the vision, like I'm already seeing it. Like you said, you was in a hospital, in a waiting room. The book on the floor, on the shelf, on the desk, said the waiting room. Writings on the walls, saying the waiting room. And that's a heavy way to put the concept because it's like you're right. We are in a waiting. We're in a waiting process. When I want to get to that music,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
When I'm gonna get to
that,
it.
when I'm gonna get to that yes, I'm finally made it.
Exactly.
But when I'm gonna get to that, yes, I finally made it on a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And what's happening, right? So when you get there, you'll be able to look back and be like, man, I got better because of this. I got better because of that no.
Right.
I got better because of the time that I had to wait.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
how many no's? You know
how many no's, exactly.
Yep. How many no's?
Like the process, man, you know, and I wrote about it in the book, like the process is so important. Sometimes we do. We want that immediate, like
instant gratification.
We want that instant gratification. We want to make it. We want to. But but the journey that got you to that place, man, is everything, right? Like, you know, and I'm gonna go Bible one more time, man. Like David, you know, David was anointed as king when he was a kid.
Yeah.
After he was anointed as king as a kid, he didn't go and start trying on robes and crowns. He went back into the field doing what he was doing, serving his purpose. You know what I'm saying? But if he would have stepped straight into that role, it would have killed him.
Yeah.
He would not have been able to do that, man. So sometimes when we have these big dreams or these big things, we're not even ready for it to be manifested because we got so much character building, we got so much process that needs to happen before we get to that place.
And then he gonna let you know when you're ready.
Fact.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I learned that too, man. It's just don't be so in a rush.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell
you want to create content like mine, you want to get the subtitles, the split screens, the emojis all inside your content, head over to Opus Clips. Hit the link below. Use my affiliate link.
All right, back at it. So for the audiobook, I would say, bro, like just dive into it, record it.
Yeah.
And if you need help, let me know.
Yeah.
And we I can, you know what I mean? You set it up and all you gotta do is just read your chapters. How many chapters you got?
It's 8 chapters.
8 chapters?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna be a nice read.
Yeah.
Like straight to the point.
Oh, straight to the point. It's only a little bit over 100 pages. So not too thick of a read. Yeah.
Cool. Before we get out of here, I always do gym class.
Okay.
Gym class. GEM.
Ooh.
Not GYM.
Nice.
So what gym or gyms you can give to the community, to the relatives. I call them the relatives.
Okay.
You know,
what's up, relatives?
You know, the family.
Yeah.
So the relatives, what can you give the relatives out there in life? Any gym that you think that can help them in their life?
Let's see, man. First of all, don't eat yellow snow. Second of all, God first. Third of all, man, patient in the waiting room. You know, if you grinding for something, go through the process. Yeah, it'll make the other side worth it.
It's yellow snow. Don't eat the yellow snow. That one got me. I ain't never heard that.
Hey, bro, it'll save you a lot of time and some bad breath, man. I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So don't eat the yellow snow.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
God first.
God first.
And be patient in the waiting room.
Be patient in the waiting room.
Okay. All right. Cool, bro. Well, like I always, man, I appreciate you for coming, man.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Congrats on your new drop, your
Thank
EP,
you.
Life Before 16.
Life Before 16.
The waiting room book.
Yes, sir.
Coming out.
Yes, sir.
When?
December 20th.
December 20th?
December 20th.
So next Friday.
Yes, sir.
So next Friday, December 20th, The Waiting Room,
Yes,
coming
sir.
out by Brien
Yes, sir.
Johnson.